All right, everyone. So we have some big news on if Gears of War E-Day is coming to the PlayStation. So this comes according to Jeff Grubb. We're reading here from mpfirst.com. Gears of War 5 E-Day was going to be on PS5. It's not anymore. That just happened. That was a decision that just got made. So according to this, it's because of them going to more of a exclusive based thing again, right? So it's only going to be on the PC and the Xbox Series X. On the flip side of that, we also got a report that there's a placeholder on, I guess, Walmart.com for the Gears of War E-Day PS5 release. Now, that could just be something that they're like, if it does, we want to have it up already. It also could be a sign that it's going to be. So we have kind of dueling things here. Now, I want to go through whether this is a good idea or a bad idea. For starters, I do think one of the interesting things over the last year that we've realized is that, as much as we all used to shit on exclusives, right, on both things, they worked. Okay, let's just be clear about it. They worked. As Xbox has gone to this strategy of we're going to put all of our mainline games onto the PlayStation, what has happened to the Xbox, the view of the Xbox from your average gamer? Well, it's really gone down, right? There's really, to me at least, I'm someone who's had Xbox since the Xbox 360. I had a PlayStation 2, then I had an Xbox 360, and I've had an Xbox all the way up, right? I feel like I'm kind of living off of Xbox 360 glory because, everybody kind of thinks that the Xbox is now really below the PlayStation. But I've been an Xbox guy my whole life. The first time ever I was like, "You know what? Maybe the next Xbox I'm just not gonna buy," is when I heard they're gonna start putting the games on other platforms. That's just the case. So, I do think we have to keep that in mind of I get why everybody hates exclusives. I do think it's time to move past them, but there is a world in which there's a reason that they exist because they just do add value to a specific console over another one. It's just the case, right? Now, I understand from a consumer perspective, we don't give a shit about that, but from the company perspective, I get that. However, here's the problem with this what they're doing here is I do believe that Gears of War E-Day being on the PC and on the Xbox is going to kind of nullify the exclusives anyways. Like this isn't 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I think I got my first gaming PC. It was a Alienware laptop in like 2012 or 2013, and then I ended up getting a CyberPower PC, one they could build after that. Okay, and I will forever remember how the PC was viewed, even though PC rocks, right? I once I got a PC, I never went back to any other form of gaming. But it was a lot of these major companies would just put out garbage onto the PC, right? You'd have a major game that's released by a AAA company, the whole 9 yards, and the port to the PC would be a disaster. That's no longer the case. Gamers are flocking to the PC now, right? Gamers are just like, you know what? The PC is kind of a better way to play these things. And so when you open this up to having it on Steam as well, I think you're still losing that exclusivity in a way. And one of the reasons I was excited to see this go on the PS5 is that Gears of War needs a jump in getting back to the mainstream, right? People that are new to gaming don't understand what Gears of War 2 was, and Gears of War 1 even, but Gears of War 2 specifically, at least for me. Right? I mean, this was one of like you talked about Call of Duty, you talked about Halo. Gears of War was in that light. I remember watching the IGN review for Gears of War 2. Like these were games that were just viewed as top of the industry at the time, and it wasn't exclusive. Since then, and we've been doing Gears of War 5 on this channel. I really have enjoyed Gears of War 5, but there's no argument to be made that anything since really Gears of War 3 has dominated the gaming world like Gears of War 2. And even Gears of War 3, I mean, that was the problem is that was kind of when I was, getting out of gaming a little bit for a little bit of time. So I don't know what that kind of did, but to me, since Gears of War 2, Gears of War has never really been the same in pop culture per se. I know people like Gears of War 3, so maybe that one was too, but Gears of War 4 on, it just hasn't. And by taking it off of, if they end up doing this, I do think there's a world in which we see it on the PS5, right? We're going to find out today. But to be completely honest with you, man, it's I think it might backfire. I understand why they're doing it. I really do. But I just think there's other games that you could do this with. And when you're talking about the kind of, when you're talking about something like going to the PS5 and I just don't know if this is gonna be I guess moral of the story here, I don't think this is gonna be a console seller because it's also on the PC. And please put it on the PC, okay? Please. I'm begging to get this thing on the PC, alright? Because, I wanna be able to play it on my computer. And I think that's almost a guarantee it will be. So, look, I don't know. I really don't know if this is gonna be I really think if they're trying to rebuild the Xbox console as a whole, they should focus on making the next Gears of War. And I would say, look, Gears of War is a big name franchise. You had it forever. Why don't you just lean people into playing your games and come out like imagine this, right? Imagine this for a second. Imagine if Xbox decided we're going to create an Expedition 33. Not like the game, but I'm saying the type of popularity that game got. That would be a console seller. It just would, right? A new IP that just takes the gaming world by storm, that would get people to go buy it just to play that game. I just don't know if Gears of War is gonna be able to do that. And I really think you're taking something that could have been a major success and it could have kind of revitalized the whole series, and you could have then maybe gone exclusive after that if you really wanted to, and now you're just limiting it. And there's only 2 outcomes from this I see. The first outcome is because they don't put it on PS5, it doesn't have maybe the kind of gaming dominance it may have. That's 1. Or 2, which is it does still take over the gaming world, and it is really great. But since it's on PC, it doesn't have the intended effect of having it on Xbox anyways. So it's like I just don't know if this is gonna be the right decision, but hey, we'll see. I just wanted to get this video out, and if after this video, they make the announcement that it will be on PS5, we'll do another one. Because, like I said, there is kind of disputed here, back and forth things, but one of them is a Walmart listing, and the other one is somebody putting their name to, yeah, this is what's going to happen. So you usually would trust the person putting their name to the claim being made. All right. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.